right. Where's the stream? All right. So it's Tuesday, but I never did a weekly plan. So I might just do that. Weekly goals. Oh, that's the wrong one. But we just need to do that too. Weekly analysis and game plan. Review of last week. Well, last week, I might actually do that later. What news is coming out this week? Okay. All right. This week we have consumer confidence just after the open today, and then we got FOMC tomorrow, and then GDP Thursday, and PCE and employment cost index Friday. So it's going to be pretty good the rest of the week. Um, we had a huge move gap down yesterday that got rebought on somewhat, but the Dow Jones and Russell held up really strong versus the Nasdaq dump. But yeah, lots of news this week. FOMC, GDP, etc. And usually, whenever there's an FOMC before GDP, it's like usually choppy into the into the FOMC. So GDP though that morning usually has a really good move. So that's usually like this turning point or something, like the bottom or the swing point. So times to avoid, maybe um, prior to Fed funds, but that's basically it. All right, so yeah, now let's start out the analysis. So I already kind of went through the Dow here. These are all just gaps that I was noting. Not like super key areas, but just noting them because we're kind of up in a interesting area or a tough to read area. Maybe is there a inversion here on the weekly? Yeah, you know what? There's a weekly inversion here. I might actually keep that there and note this here. Yeah, there we go. I was trying to figure out why we were kind of reversing there. Okay, that's a strong gap. Weekly. Um, so yeah, this is actually an interesting area, lining up with that and the gap there. There's a lot for this to reverse here now, so it makes sense we're getting the pullback. We have no displacement yet on the daily. We've rebalanced that already. On the 4 hour, we have also failed. And then on the 1 hour, we did get a displacement, which has since already been traded into most of it. So far, respecting it. We'll see what happens. But then we do have this support resistance area with relative equal lows here. So I'm thinking there could actually be a long into this, especially with the new week opening gap here. We do have, maybe we have something on the 4 hour. No. Maybe just this old fair value gap here. Maybe the 1 hour. The only, there is this little inversion here. So just note that too. And there is a gap up there. Lots of little nuggets here I'm finding. So I'm going to just note that with a blue. See a nice inversion there on the 1. Make sure it's marked out what it is. And this is lined up with this one too, so just a lot of little areas lining up here in this area. But yeah, so far we have displaced, but only outside of the range, but we also already broke the eye, so it's not really valid anymore, though it could be. 15-minute London took out everything and expanded. Um, but yeah, we still got those relative equal lows. So yeah, basically looking to see if we sweep London for a long idea, just generally right now. And yeah, obviously this week, so we've got Monday, okay. So yeah, Monday, big gap down, traded all the way down into here, and then we've since moved up pretty strong. So it's possible that we could just get pretty bullish week. Yeah, we've already retraded all the way and rebalanced the last week. So, and we've already came above too. So maybe we're just going to work out this and then get a move up, continuing the trade, the direction here. It could obviously reject here though, so I think maybe we've already gotten the range for the week and we're gonna like work out this area on the Dow. It's possible. But at the same time we may just keep ripping since that's what we have everything for a new high. So new highs is already the draw on liquidity on the higher time frame. So yeah, up is the bias. We've already traded into discount, so maybe we're just going to use Monday's candle body, the discount of the body would be right in line with that. Um, let's see. Yeah, just below that. Yeah, so let me just go back. Yeah, so right underneath that is, yeah, all those levels. All those levels line up with the discount. And if we look at the entire range, then that's way down here into this old, which we should probably mark out. Daily? Yeah, it's a daily. So that lines up with that old daily fair value gap there. Obviously we gap down. We opened right at the CE of that. So that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, daily fair value gap here. Lines up with the new week opening gap. Would line up with the support resistance sweep. Kind of the CE of this big old order block probably too. Yep. So yeah, lots of levels here. I'm gonna adjust this as a inversion. For our inversion and regular, the daily, the old daily. Kind of lining up with this order block too. Open. Displacement out. Yeah, it's definitely possible we come back down into this. There's definitely a reason to reject here. Took out the high. Hit all these hard time frame PD array matrices. Matrix. So yeah, I do like this level, so maybe we can even look for a short. Um, but that's basically it. There is this gap up there. We do have some inefficiencies on the smaller time frame being formed. 1 hour shift there. Little 1 hour inversion here. That got respected prior. That's actually just a bearish, not an inversion. And now it's sort of getting inverted here, but we'll see. It's 5:30. Lots of movement right now. But yeah, 1 hour little bearish one. Looks like it's been like inverted. So maybe, yeah, maybe this is just a short right now actually. Regular indices are coming down. There is a short. Technically, no, there's no S&T there, but all right. But yeah, YM is definitely in play right now for longs and for shorts. And then yeah, we'll do an SMT analysis later. Pretty messy chart right now though. Um, should also check DIA. All right, so the Dow Jones, just going back to that. Has drawn liquidity at all-time highs. Big move down was just the lower wick of a possible bullish weekly. It is rejecting a little area as of now, but there are long ideas underneath. Just like the long ideas and pullback longs based on the time frame action. Yeah, it's really likely that those relative equal, that support resistance area gets like swept deeper. Phew, excuse me. All right, but we'll finish that in a minute. We'll look at the Dow Jones stock chart. So yeah, we're just up against. We've already cleared out these areas. Big gap down, and now big move back up. Daily. Um, Big gap down, move back up. So far, it's above those areas, those fair value gaps, and it's come back to the rally prior to the sell-off. And this range has really displaced, really obviously, um, here. So it has confirmed above the range on the stock index chart. We do have this same support resistance area that we could sweep. Um, yeah, that's basically it. Just obviously some gaps in the off trading hours. So yeah, maybe this is gonna keep just heading higher. I may just it may have just wanted a really small time frame range pullback thing play here. So all right, yes, obviously the big gap down there. Okay, so I never really looked at any of this. So we have the big gap, and we did come all the way back down to respect this daily fair value gap. So this stuff is totally in play. Also, I already know Nasdaq has like come all the way down to the lows. So I'm still looking at these areas to be interesting, because I think that this could easily keep heading lower. Let's put oh, whoops. Where's the open? What the heck? Why is it a green candle? Weird. Let's make that blue. So we got a gap there. This was a daily market structure shift. We've completely closed that, but it seems like we're kind of respecting it as of right now as like a bullish fair value gap. Obviously, we have the gap down and probably a 4-hour shift. Yeah. So we kind of soup these support resistance area, and now we're rotating back down. We've got basically some relative equal highs at the highs. Oh, Alright, so we'll set an alert here. This is eventually going to get traded into a little shift there, but nothing to note, basically. Daily inversion wasn't important. But we're really respecting these relative equal highs, so I think this is still going to be an oscillating area. Big gap down. I'm going to delete that. Alright, so yeah, we do have relative equal lows at the lows too. So it's likely we could still come and take those at some point. I honestly don't think we will until we take the highs first. And this is just a bounce area. So we'll see. All right. So there's the daily 4 hour. This is acting as an inversion now, actually, because we did displace. I guess haven't fully displaced, but on the 4 hour, these are all inversions. So just gonna get this a little bit out of the way. And we had that gap up. We swept these lows here, bounced. Um, Seems like we want to come back down again. Sorry, I just saw this. Want to note it. That could be the rejection for the other guys. All right. So yeah, ES, we've just come back into, oh, interesting, the CE of this daily. So we have, I don't know, I guess we have displaced below this, huh? We're going to turn it yellow. Daily market structure shift, and now we've market structure shifted it. So this is totally a likely rejection area. So it makes sense that there's something interesting going on here. But we got time to figure this out before it probably plays out. But yeah, it looks like we're rejecting that. We obviously have all this bearish stuff. Nothing here on the 4 hour, on the smaller time frame, maybe lower. Just these same areas. I'd expect these order blocks to be interesting. Maybe even actually taking this one out and just coming all the way back down to that lower end could be possible. But yeah, technically we did get that soup. We did just tag that order block almost to a T. Respect to the daily, maybe we're just gonna come and retest this daily. So if we're gonna come back lower, I do think this is totally an area we could reject though, now that I'm seeing things together. There's that daily shift there. Maybe I have this wrong. It just doesn't make sense because it's a green candle. So yeah, let's just look at the, okay, yeah, it did open right there. And then on the 1 hour, it opened here. Okay, yeah, that is right. All right. So yeah, we rotated above it, perfectly respect the CE of that inversion. Displacing down now, we've got a 1 hour fair value gap here. So yeah, 1 hour shift there, 15-minute. Confirmed market structure shift on the 15-minute. That looks very clean. Now I want to check the flows. So maybe a short right now. Tide was bearish all day yesterday, though it did get bullish into the close, but obviously that's already played out. So maybe they're going to open this. Yeah, if they open this up here, boom, that might be the short entry. Seems like they would want to open it green. And SPY net was bullish. Dow Jones was bullish. Russell was bearish. And the Qs were bullish, very bullish. Weird. Oh. So yeah, I think I'd want to see how this opens up. Um, it does look pretty bearish right now. It seems like this is just going to be a retrace short. We've just created a market structure shift, didn't take out this low. So it seems like we're gonna come lower. But we'll see. And then going to the SPY chart, we did take out the all-time highs. So ES still can sweep, still but SPY also already has, makes sense still for shorts to be looked for, especially with NQ relative lows. Yeah, big sweep of the highs and then just a mega gap down. That's crazy. Well, on SPY, all we did was manufacture equal lows too. Yeah, I really like shorts still on NQ and ES. That is just blaringly obvious. That is definitely the draw on liquidity for the moment. Cool. Just gonna check regular trading real quick. Okay. There's a gap up here. I'm just gonna note that. Gap up there. It's rejecting this area. It could come up into this. That would make sense. So yeah, not only do we have that new week opening gap, we have this just regular trading hours gap that still hasn't been tapped into. So it's possible this may just keep bouncing for now, but yeah, we'll see. Makes sense that they would open this green on the day. All right. All right, NASDAQ weekly chart. NASDAQ's got these smooth highs here at the highs. We've got old relative equal lows, SMT lows all down here. We've almost already come down into there, but we've been bouncing so far. Makes sense that we would bounce because some of the charts tagged areas of interest. We probably did make some SMT down here, most likely. We'll have to check it out. Daily relative equal highs, very obvious. So it's likely that may be the target for the bear market for the short. All right, big gap down. Didn't respect this inversion. Didn't really care about any of this stuff, but it's still marked out here. It'll be important later, most likely. All right. Okay, very messy. So yeah, huge move down. We only shifted from up here, so it seems like we could easily come up into here. Yeah. Old new week opening gap stuff there. This is the only. Why does this one look weird? All right. 4 hour, there's like an inversion here, so that also makes sense. Yeah, there's a 4 hour inversion here. On the 1 hour, we've shifted just like ES has, but we have relative equal highs here at the highs. I don't think ES has that. Um, looks like this was somewhat of an area, at least right there. Yeah, nothing else super clean. Yeah, it makes sense for us to bounce here. Took out London low. There may even be an SMT long right there. Yeah, it seems like immediately longs are in play. Just for the really small time frames. But yeah, relative equal highs. Maybe we're gonna soup those for the short. And with YM being weaker, if these soup these highs, that would make a lot of sense. You know, if Dow Jones rejects this area. Um, hmm. All right, Q's did take out that high, and then it rejected it. There's relative equal highs at these highs, and then big gap down, took out the relative equal lows, even on the. But then we made new ones. So yeah, we took out a huge pool of liquidity. Makes sense. We're bouncing. But yeah, it does seem like we would want to come lower again. Maybe below this low. Manufacture another draw on liquidity, bounce. We'll see. Really messy daily chart. Yeah, it's very messy. But yeah, relative equal highs here too. So big range to rebalance. Just gonna leave that there. This could even be a thing where these guys might just come lower. Yeah, look at that. Dow Jones down and these are up. So yeah. And Russell's in a really nice long area. Really lots of liquidity up above these highs. Alright, but yeah, that's QQQ. NASDAQ. Close after taking last week for shorts. Yeah, we just got relative equal highs on today's highs. Basically it. Alright, Russell, here's the big one that we want to look at. Russell already had the bullish soup. So far, respecting and rejecting the weekly fair value gap. And this is an inversion here I don't have marked. That did get respected earlier. This is the weekly. Alright, so that's getting respected there. Look at that. Yeah, I might just leave that there. I already know that that's an inversion. Daily, we do have that gap. It's already rebalanced it. We did have a shift here. Which is now somewhat of an inversion. So I'm going to mark that out. Um, yeah, so far we're like right at the CE of the NWOGs. And didn't trade into discount on the wick. Do we need to now? We have relative equal lows at these lows, which is kind of sketchy. But they're really tight. And they are on the 4-hour wick. They are right there at the CE. And we already had these relative equal lows, so. And we got a new wick opening up there, so it makes sense that we'd have those. It's a box set up here. But yeah, nonetheless, we do have those there. So yeah, it does seem it is bullish. There is a 4-hour fair value gap being created here. It's not confirmed yet for another 2 hours, but it is there almost. So there is a 4-hour fair value gap. And then on the 1-hour we do have a complete shift. So it's likely, yeah, we could take out this, at least this little wick high. Six o'clock, okay. Yeah, we did already take out that new week opening gap. We sold all the way back off and didn't break any lows. We just, yeah, super weird there. But yeah, we do have a shift here on the 1, lined up with this 4. So we're just gonna mark that out. 1-hour. 1 hour and a 4-hour, 15 minutes. Smooth highs. Still, bit high resistance liquidity there, but there's a new week opening gap there. And there is probably short stops there. So yeah, we do have a shift. We did manufacture equal lows here and then take those out into this move up. So it does seem pretty strong looking. It does seem like it would want at least some type of a move out of here. If it's gonna come back down, it seems like it'd want to take that out and then oscillate back down. All right. IWM clearly has been working out these relative equal highs here, manipulating above it, distributing, and then now we're below it, accumulating, looking like. And yeah, I guess there's a gap here we're respecting. Yeah, nice gap that we are accumulating in. Same thing on the chart, R2Y chart. Oh, man. Big old wick. Seems like, yeah, I'd want to come back into that. Oh, crashing. What is this? Gold. Um, yeah, we'll have to see what happened here. Because on IWM, we ended up taking out this low. So there are no relative equal lows here. We just flat out souped it. That looks a lot more bullish, honestly. Much more bullish looking, smooth lows accumulating underneath. 15-minute. There are no like clear shifts. Here's a small shift here, and we traded back down, made relative equal highs here. So makes sense to soup these. If we're gonna come lower, I'd want to soup those, but I honestly think it may just displace these back into the CE of the new week opening gap. It's kind of what it seems like, or into the new week opening gap at all. But the way that it came up here is really tricky because we don't know. I haven't looked at the SMT. Pretty sure there's SMT. Really obvious. So yeah, seems bullish. Like this is a bullish area. And yeah, we're accumulating. RTY has had that shift there. So yeah, seems pretty bullish. Yeah. Russell flow was bearish though. The last 2 days, so Friday was net bearish, and then today was net bearish. But it's been like literally the opposite lately with Russell. It's like bearish flow, it goes up, bullish flow, it goes down. Price is coming up, calls are coming up, puts are coming up. Puts are flat, calls are relatively flat, puts are up, calls are up. Calls are down. Bullish. Puts are sold. Calls are still continually being sold, with puts rising slightly. They sold more puts there. Yeah, maybe we're gonna get another sweep of these lows. Maybe we're gonna trade lower into this wick before we're gonna bounce. This is just such a big wick. like an insane. Can't believe that on the 5 minute it's a wick still. Man, even on the 1 minute, holy cow. That is like the biggest 1 minute candle, 2088. Holy cow. Just had some serious volatility there. But yeah, obviously for long I do want to see SMT with the Dow, even though it hasn't been working lately. Just that's the only thing I really have confidence in. So yeah, Russell made relative lows on this accumulation. Could easily sweep before having the long idea play out. But YMSMT seems like it would send this. Alright, so now we can look at SMT. Alright, so on that sell-off, obviously the Dow. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, this was just that really weird sell-off we had. The Dow came all the way back into this range, whereas Russell's accumulating below that. And then, yeah, obviously we have bullish SMT with all of these guys so far. With YM holding stronger, and then, yeah, we got the move up, back into new highs. Now we've got bearish SMT, YM making higher highs, everything still really weak and below. We got those relative equal highs on NASDAQ. Maybe if we soup that. Without the Dow, then that would be a nice short, especially in this area that we're in with ES and the NASDAQ. Whereas Russell took out these lows, got that nice big move up, seemingly to just keep reaccumulating here. It could easily take out this low. So maybe if the Dow somehow takes out this low while Russell is really strong and doesn't, that could be a nice long. Or Dow takes out and soups these support resistance just like I was looking for a long in it, and yeah, we get SMT again at but we also take out these lows, but Russell creates like a smaller time frame SMT. That's also what I'd be looking for. So smaller time frame SMT. If we crack that, crack that, we crack that. Did we have SMT? Actually, lower low. No. All right. Well, yeah. We did have um we did have Dow Jones and these guys create SFT here, where the Dow came and made a new low, while these guys actually were stronger right here. So there's S&T here overnight. Even here. Even here. We didn't technically take out this low, but we do have SMT very obviously into this. So I'm just gonna mark this because this is the swing low. That's really obvious. But technically it's all the way from this lunch little breakout where YM's coming lower and then these guys are coming stronger. Now we actually have anything here. ES took out this low. Or no. ES did not take out that low. And then NASDAQ did. So there may be some sort of a long occurring here. But yeah. Let's look at the index charts. On the index charts, Dow hasn't even opened, but yeah, these guys are, yeah, Russell's kind of triangling there. Creating a little triangle thing here. Bear flagging. That's what they call that. But that looks super bullish. But yeah. We just have the harder to read S&T. But this is looking pretty bullish for the Dow. And everything was kind of bullish into yesterday. Tide was bearish, but it's like we had call selling. But it was like into the lows. And then it started to recover. So yeah. Seems like there's a long maybe in play. Uh yeah, we just kind of souped everything. So yeah, maybe it's just a long. Maybe that was a long there. Maybe if we zoom even more. Man, my mouse feels so dirty. We've created a bit of a little balanced price range here with some SMT. Oh, there was SMT there. But yeah, if Russell's gonna come take these highs and the Dow Jones does not, that's actually gonna look pretty bearish for at least for Russell. So yeah, kind of tricky. I do think I still like that short idea on Nasdaq and ES. So, oh, um, were there any bearish flows? Nope. Besides, mm, SPY was really bullish, and Russell's actually was bearish. Wish you could see Russell Holdings. Calls and puts both being sold into the in the morning rally with huh, and then puts started to get bought into the move lower all day. Calls still being sold, and then sharp drop in calls, but also drop in puts, and then yeah, bearish. Both were negative, but yeah, weird. Russell flow was bearish. And right now the Dow and Russell, or the Dow's coming down while Nasdaq and ES are heading higher. So I think the short is looking like it may play here. I think I'm reading it right. I think it's gonna open up at the open green, and then maybe give that sell off in the Nasdaq and the ES, possibly, even though the flow was bullish yesterday. If we open up green, then that's already come into fruition, which we already are green. London was really big up move. So yeah, I think they're gonna open this green, and then I think that's like makes sense for it to turn red after that. All right, yeah, that's the stream. Audio.